What's up everyone? So, Pacific Rim Uprising. I keep forgetting it's not Pacific Rim 2, it's Pacific Rim Uprising. First things first, want to put a big fat spoiler warning over here. Big fat one. I'm going to talk a lot of spoilers in this movie. I watched it the other day and I can't really talk about it without mentioning a lot of things that happen in it. So if you haven't watched it yet and you really care about it and you want to make sure that you're not going to be spoiled by it, then go watch the movie and come back here. Otherwise, enjoy. Pacific Rim Uprising, it starts off with John Boyega's character Jake. You can see he's a struggling guy. I honestly had an opinion thinking that he was supposed to play this badass hero, and before I watched the movie I kind of thought, yeah, it's not going to be that great because I don't really see him as that character, and I'm really glad that they didn't put him in that sort of, you're just a hero sort of action role. He was kind of like a scumbag trying to just get away from things, and I liked him. John Boyega he's fun, he's charismatic, and he's so full of himself in this movie, and he's really one of the better things in this movie. I loved it. So Jake meets Amara. They sort of team up, they got this little buddy thing going, and they immediately get caught. Jake sort of has to get out of, well, being in trouble, and through that process, him and Amara join the Rangers, and it sort of doesn't really kick off at that point. There's a lot of training and a lot of like sort of character moments, or attempted character development, but it's just not enough. From there, the movie progresses to the point where it's like a little bit of a pacing issue, where there's no real monster fights and there's no real like big giant robots or anything like that yet. So it takes a while for the movie to get going, I feel. The action sort of gets going slightly when another giant Jaeger attacks them for some reason, and you're kind of left like, whoa, what's going on? Why is there another Jaeger? And it was pretty interesting at that point with the fight started happening. I enjoyed them. Charlie Day's character Newt is in the movie, and again, I did give a big spoiler warning before. He's the bad guy because he's just crazy, and he's got a fantastic beast that he's found, and he's like just, I don't know what's happening in his bedroom. It's some freaky stuff. Freaky stuff. So yeah, Newt's the bad guy. It was a pretty good twist. I enjoyed it because, yeah, I didn't see it coming. Charlie Day doesn't play the best bad guy because I see him as this tiny, funny man, and I can't really see him as the villain, but yeah, he could sort of pulled it off. So Newt's drones come in, and obviously since he's the bad guy, he's put the kaiju sort of little brain system inside each of the drones, and they create a new breach, and through that they sort of like let these three giant kaiju come through, and then finally the monster scenes come in. So with the new cadets that have been trained up, and you don't really sort of pay attention to the cadets, you kind of know their names. You know the one guy is the boob guy, I think his name is Cadet Suresh. Seriously, like in the credits they're just called Cadet. And there's the Russian girl, and the other ones are kind of just little background characters. The cadets you don't really pay attention to. It's more just Amara's story. So the Jaeger team have to now face off against these new kaiju. I'm excited about the kaiju fight, and I want to know how are they going to step it up? How are they going to make the kaiju more of a threat? Because in the previous movie, you saw how the kaiju were pretty badass, but now what is the new threat? And then they kind of joined together and made one big man. So they've like terraformed, made this giant one. Let's call him Dave. So Dave starts smashing the other Jaegers, just knocking them out. Little Suresh and the Russian kid, the troll kid, they go towards and they try and attack the giant Dave, and Dave just smacks him. I was really glad to see them get smacked because they were so cocky and thinking, oh yeah, look how cool we are. I was a bit surprised to see the kid dying though. I didn't see that coming because when I saw the Russian kid, he was like, yeah, we're okay. And he just turns and he sees the little Indian kid there, like, yeah, so that happened. So Dave's busy kicking ass. I enjoyed Dave quite a bit. He was huge and he was scary. Dave then slowly approaches Mount Fuji because Mount Fuji is full of rare earth elements. And you're just like, okay. And all Dave has to do is fall into Mount Fuji, that's it. And he does the typical bad guy thing, the typical evil villain. So if an evil villain in a movie has the power to destroy something or kill the hero, he monologues. Or he'll be like, "Hi, I finally captured you, let me tell you my evil plan." Dave stands at the edge of Mount Fuji and he roars. For some other reason, doesn't just jump in. So yeah, he monologued. Little Scrapper comes back, and I love Little Scrapper. Scrapper was cool. He was such a cute little robot, and I enjoyed the hell out of him. Scrapper comes to save the day by strapping a rocket to Jake and Amara's Jaeger and just sort of launching them to the sky. And Gypsy becomes one super giant fast missile, and they knock out Dave. So yeah, that wasn't bad. I like that. There was a little bit of a scare when Dave like half got up and he was like, and he flopped again. So that was okay. I enjoyed that. I thought, oh no, they have to do something again. So yeah, that was good. That was good. A warning before watching this movie: you should really watch the previous movie, the Pacific Rim 1. I hadn't watched Pacific Rim in a long time. I watched it when it came out, and I was super confused about some like aspects of it. The precursors, there's some characters which I kind of just forgot about, like Mako. I'm glad that she died because I think she was doing it for the paycheck, the actress, because I couldn't hear what she was saying. She was like mumbling and speaking with such a strong accent that when she died and when she was like the sort of big death, you were kind of just like, oh, yay. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the new characters. It's not the most amazing movie. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but it was still pretty fun. It was just like a fun ride. You don't have to take it too seriously with what they do. They set up a third movie quite well. I hope that they make it quite epic on like a war scale. They get a bunch of Jaegers together and they go full on and attack the kaiju dimension. I don't know what to call it. Is it the breach? I don't know. I thought the breach was, I don't know. The precursors. I want them to go attack those precursors because I don't know what they are. I don't know anything about them, and I want them to take the fight there. That'll be cool. Overall, pretty enjoyable. Didn't take it too seriously. What did you think of the movie? I want to know your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching. Bye.